And then we're just going to go ahead and get to the program. So of course, for all of you, this is the eBudde for beginners. And what that means is we're going to learn everything we possibly can in a brief period of time tonight about nutting. So first thing is, a lot of you I know have already contacted me and have wanted to find out just exactly how to go ahead and to get into the system. So if you haven't tried to get in, please go ahead. Here's where, this will be the first screen that you'll see. You'll put in your email address, your password, and then go ahead and hit the old log on button. The important thing is that we want to make sure that you are in the system and that you're in the system correctly. So first thing is if you have not already spoken with either your community development manager, your service unit manager, or myself to make sure that we get you set up in the system, please make sure that you go ahead and you get that done as quickly as possible. Of course, before we can put you in, you must be a registered Girl Scout. So we will go ahead and verify and make sure that, that you are one. To log into the system, it's just ebudde.littlebrownie.com. If you forget this login, you can shoot me an email and I'll just cut and paste it and send it over to you. You can also, if you just go to Little Brownie Bakers on Google or whatever search engine you're using, it'll come up and it'll tell you, it'll ask you like for full site eBudde, whatever. You can just click on that as well and that'll drive you right in there. We all know now, if you've contacted me, that we have our initial password this year is 570 Samoas, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then of course you're going to be prompted to change your password. Make sure that you do write that password down. I can go in, I can reset it. You can also use the forgot password that's on the landing page to eBudde, but make sure you write it down so that, if it's midnight and you're trying to put that order in, it might take a little time for one of us to be able to get back to you. So make sure, write that password down. And once you go in now, they are going to have your current password, which if it would have been the 570 Samoas, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then it's going to ask you to do a new password and then of course confirm it. New this year, which if you're a new leader to the Girl Scout program, or maybe it's your first time doing cookies, we did not have all of the security questions last year that we do this year. Little Brownie is actually, they're part of the Kellogg Corporation, and so to enhance their eBudde system, they went in, they're now behind Kellogg's firewall, and they've come up with these great ways to make sure that, we always knew eBudde was secure, but now this is just one extra step. So, and like I said, if you do forget your password, I can go in and I can get it changed for you. You can also click on the forgot my email or forgot my login password. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask you these questions, and then it's going to send you this wonderful password reset email text. And so it's going to tell you that, yes, your password has been reset. Where the X's are obviously is where you're going to be able to see what your temporary password is going to be. Now, I will caution you, whether I reset it or you have the system reset it for you, it is only good for the 24 hours. So if you don't get in there and get it reset within those 24 hours, we're going to have to go ahead and reset you again. So just make sure that you either write it down, or if you need to have it reset, make sure that you check your emails so that you get it reset right away. Okay, now we need to learn, first of all, just exactly how we're going to navigate through the system. So our next few pages are going to talk all about how to move through eBudde. We've got a few tabs that we're going to go through. And like I said at the very beginning, if you've got any questions, go ahead, type them into the chat box. I try to keep my eye kind of trained over on that corner so that I can see if we've got new questions. And of course, everybody knows you can give me a call here at the office, the 1-800-736-5243. Ask for Bernie or the Cookie Lady, and they're going to get you to me. And then you can always shoot me an email at bernies@gsmw.org. A lot of times now that we're kind of in the thick of things and it's busy, I do have a hard time sometimes getting back to my messages every day, but I do answer emails. And I will generally, especially this time of the year, I'm on my email almost 7 days a week. So, you know, I'll be there to answer your questions. I'm not gonna let you falter. So the first thing that you're going to want to look at once you're in the system is we've got a great menu bar that runs across the top. This one has a few more items on it than your menu bar will have, and that's just basically because I took the screenshot of my computer. The big thing is if you click on home, it's going to take you back to your dashboard page, and we're going to show you that page here in 2 more screens. Help. This is a great place to go. It has detailed information on all the screens. It should be able to answer your question. Again, if it can't, shoot me an email, contact your CDM, and we'll be here to help you out. The e-learning, there are actually these little visual, little snippets that you can go through and take the training. The big one that I always encourage everybody is the manuals. If you are a service unit member, you're going to be able to download the service unit manual. If you're a troop leader, same thing. They have a troop leader manual. I'm going on my 5th Girl Scout cookie season, and I still had to print a couple pages off from the manual today because, you know, you do something once a year, and so you need something just to kind of get your memory going. But the manuals are great, absolutely great. littlebrownie.com. This is the website. So, you know, this year we've got all the great things happening with the Bling Your Booth and, you know, ways for the girls to grow their cookie businesses and everything else. And under the littlebrownie.com, it will give you access right to the volunteer blog. It will give you access to all of the clip art. We've already done rallies, but it has rally ideas. It has ideas of things you can do at your troop meetings. So go in, you know, take a look around littlebrownie.com if you haven't done that already. It's got just some great things for you. The Cookie Club is another one. This is where you just click on the Cookie Club. It'll take you right there. You will use the same credentials that you use to get into eBudde to get into the Cookie Club, and then you can just go in and get your girls all set up. If you've got a problem with that, please, please, please let me know. I've been setting people up in Cookie Club right and left. So that's another good one to know. And then, of course, the log out. That way then when you want to log out of the system, you know, you can just click on that log out and then you'll be out. I will tell you that it will prompt you if you aren't active for like 20 or 25 minutes, something like that. A little screen will come up and it'll say, you know, are you still active? And, you know, you can say yes. If you don't say yes, then it's going to boot you out of the system. So we have what we call the wonderful navigation tree. Now, if you are a troop leader, once you come in, you're going to be able to just see the troops or troop that you are attached to. If you're a new service unit manager, you're going to actually see all of the troops that are in your service unit. So anything that you want to do in eBudde is going to be limited to the troop number that you see off to the left-hand side. So that's you know, that's a big thing. We had a couple leaders already this year that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing one of my troops, and it was as easy that the first time we put them into eBudde, they had a different email address than they do now. So it's very easy to go in. We can make those changes and adjustments for you. So, so don't panic whatsoever. And I was just talking to you a few minutes ago about the dashboard. The dashboard is truly your friend. The big thing about the dashboard is on the calendar, it's going to have all of your dates for you. It's going to let you know, it's got a little check-off box, and it's going to say, yes, I've submitted my order. Yes, I have put in my order for the girl rewards. It's going to let you know everything that you need to do. Another important thing about the dashboard, it's going to have messages not only from myself, but it may have a messaging system that's coming through from your service unit manager. So always make sure that you kind of take a look-see and see just exactly what's happening on your dashboard. All right, the next is the contact tab. This is really important, especially for you new leaders, because what I've done is after we get you set up in the system, I go into our council database, and then I upload and make sure that I've got your street address, your phone number, everything. So what I want you to do is go in, take a look at that contact tab, and make sure that all of the information that I have listed in there is completely accurate. If it's not, please send me an email, let me know. If you are a new service unit manager and you have got a panicked leader who needs to get in and get her order, but she can't remember what her login information is, you can't see it on this screen, but what it'll do is it'll say user password and then confirm, and you can go in and give them a temporary password that you can give to them that will allow them into the system. So your service unit manager can reset that for you, your community development manager can reset that for you, and so can I. Okay, under the settings tab, this is another one of those tabs that is really, really important. So we want you to take a look, and we want you to make sure that all of the information there is accurate as well. Because maybe you had a Brownie troop and now you're a junior troop. Well, I don't know that you've bridged. So say you went from a Brownie to a junior. You can go in, click on the edit settings, and then where it says the level, there's just a little drop-down box, and you can check, just exactly what troop level you are. Maybe you inherited a troop number and you're now a Daisy and it used to be a junior troop. So make sure you go in, make sure we have your right level. If by any chance maybe you are a mixed level troop, you've got Daisies, Brownies, and Juniors because you're in a smaller community, then all you need to do is go in and check other, because that way then we know that you're definitely a mixed troop. And it's one of those things when we start looking at all of our data from the previous year, we want to see, who is really selling the most cookies. Is it the juniors? Is it the Brownies? Because we always, the GSUSA likes to know that, as does our bakers. So make sure that you update that. One of the biggest questions I've gotten lately too is that it'll say, oh my gosh, it shows that there's 5 girls that are registered, but no girls that are selling. It won't update the girls selling until you put your orders into the system. Then it's going to update that. I always have a lot of questions as well. Oh my gosh, I've got 5 girls that are registered and I only have 4 that are selling because that one girl never shows up at the meetings. Don't panic. Your per girl average is based only on the number of girls selling and then how many boxes that have been sold. It's not saying that if you've got 7 girls registered and only 5 sold, it's not going to penalize you for that. So that's another one that, I always get the big questions on. Maybe you're a troop leader and you have a new troop cookie mom. You can go ahead and update, put her information in there as well. So under the settings tab, there's going to be a few fields, that you're not going to be able to fill out, but the majority of them you are going to be able to fill out. The other one that's really important on that tab is if you're an older girl troop and you want to make sure that you're opting out of your incentives and you're receiving the additional proceeds, you need to make sure that you check on that box. The one thing I really like this year is that it's going to let you know there's going to be a little blue line that lights up underneath there that's going to say, you know, you will not receive girl rewards. So, so I really like that. Was another new update that they did for this year. Okay, so again, here's just kind of what the fields look like for you under the settings tab. The girls registered is already going to be filled in for you because it's pulling that from when we import the girls from our database into eBudde. You can go in, you can put your bank name in, you can put your bank routing number, you can put your bank account number in. The nice thing is for this year is they've done it so that once you put that information in there and you hit update, it's going to block off all but the last 4 numbers in your sequence for both your routing number and your bank number. So you don't have to worry about that information being out there and people seeing it. It'll be all X'd out, but you know, if you want to save it so that you know exactly what it is, you can go ahead and put it in there. And then when you hit edit settings again, it's going to bring up the full number for you. So it's just another nice little thing that that eBudde does for you. Okay, the Troops tab. And this one is basically just for your service unit managers. They're going to go in. This is how they're going to add, delete troops in their area. And they know exactly how they're supposed to do that. One of the nice things, if you are a new service unit manager on the call tonight, one of the nice things is it allows you to update multiple troops at one time. So, you know, if you've got, you know, maybe 3 or 4 new troops in your area, you can just go ahead, add all the information. You can add up, you click on the add up to 11 troops, put in all the information, and then just hit update, and boom, they're going to be right in there for you. The girl tab is one of the ones that gets used the most, definitely by the leaders. This is where you want to go in, you want to make sure that all of your girls are registered and ready to sell. If you notice that you are missing one, and most of you have already been in there and have contacted us and let us know if you are missing people. But anyway, that's where you go in, let us know. If we've got to start tracking down a registration, I'd rather do it this week than, you know, next Tuesday when everybody's scrambling to get their orders in. So you don't need to, you know, don't need to worry about putting anything in there. You know, just make sure that we've got all of the right information. And as you can see on this screen, this is exactly what it looks like. I'm assuming most of you have been in there because I've gotten numerous calls and emails saying, I'm missing somebody. So it works out really well. We do keep the girl tab locked so that people can't go in and just start putting girls in. The one thing that has been kind of a bummer about that is then they can't go in and put the girls' sales goals. If you would like to have those put in there, I would love to put them in for you. So all you'd need to do is send me that information and I will make sure that I get it all updated for you. Okay, the initial order tab. This is where we kind of everything comes together. And so this is where you're going to put in all of your girls' orders. You're going to notice that your girls are listed alphabetically by their first name because that's how they're in the system. Oh, I've got a question. Hang on. Oh, I am missing a girl and that are not my troop anymore. Oh, you betcha. All you need to do is, Sarah, send us an email, send me an email with who is missing and who should not be there, and then we'll go in and make sure that we get that all updated for you. How does that sound? Okay, so, oh, perfect. Good, Sarah. Okay, under the initial order tab, this is where you're going to be transferring the total number of boxes from the bottom of the girl order card and putting them in under each one of the varieties. The columns on the order card will coincide with the columns in eBudde, which is great. I will, however, let you know that you probably should redo the math on the order cards when they come in. A lot of times, you know, a mom or a dad will just quickly add up that column, you know, in haste, and they, you know, they might be off 10 or 15 boxes, and then the order comes in and you're going, oh my gosh, I'm short this amount of cookies. And so I always tell everybody, just double check their math, because you know what, we're all human, and I could probably add the same, you know, column up 4 times and come up with a different answer each time. So once you have all your girl orders in, there is a line at the bottom. It's either you can, it's another line, there is an actual other line, and there's also a booth line. And so this is where you're going to be putting in your booth sale cookies. So one of the best thing is I always tell everybody to put your booth sale cookies in under your booth sale line, and then your other line. A lot of times if somebody will, you know, panic and they'll call right before the order's in and they'll say, oh my gosh, you know, I found out that, you know, this girl got an extra order, or you know, just whatever's happened. And a lot of times that other line is where we kind of put some of that information for you. And for the troops, always remember you order everything by the box. So if a girl's got 76 boxes of Thin Mints, you're going to put in 76 boxes of Thin Mints. And then when you get done, and we're going to see this as we kind of go along, I'm going to have some other screenshots here for you, but we want to make sure that as soon as you put that girl's order in, hit save. Save is, you know, it's kind of like when you're working on a big project and you keep hitting save on your computer. It's the same thing. Save is definitely going to be your friend. Okay, so here is how we kind of take a look at how we're entering the troops cookie order by girl. Like I said, we had, you know, where all the girls are listed alphabetically. And so when you go to place a girl's order, you're going to click first on her name. Once you click on her name, as you can see with kind of that yellow highlighted row there under Becky's, it brings up her name down at the bottom, and all of these wonderful little fields open up. And that is where you're going to be able to place your order. Now, like here, it has, you know, just the 6 varieties. When you go into our system, you're going to see that there's going to be a column that's going to say CGOC on the far left. That's going to be Council Gift of Caring cookies. And then on the far right, after Thin Mint, it's going to say TGOC, which is Troop Gift of Caring. So if your troop is going to do their Gift of Caring separately from the council, then you'd put them into the Troop Gift of Caring column. If you're doing the Council Gift of Caring, they'd go into the CGOC. But we're going to get to that here in just a minute. So once you go in and you get the girl's order placed, like you can see up here, wonderful Amanda has sold 200 boxes of every variety. And so once we got that done, you can see down here in the corner it says OK. And so you want to just make sure is once you put that order in, you want to make sure that you click on the OK button. Now, when you're entering, say, the girl totals for booth sales, and you want to do, not the girl totals, I'm sorry, say you want to put in your booth sale cookies. Unfortunately, on this screen, it's showing other instead of booth, but it's exactly the same thing. So what you do is you click up, it'll have, you know, you'll put on the booth. These boxes are going to open up down below, and then you're going to put in however many boxes that you want to have for your booth sale cookies. Best practice for your booth sales, if you look and you say, oh wow, our Samoas sold really well, our Thin Mints sold really well, tag-alongs were pretty good, you can pretty much gauge just exactly what you want to order for your booth sales depending on how many sites you have. As a new leader, if you've got problems and you're kind of panicked about it, don't worry, give me a holler and I can walk you through that, because the worst thing is I don't want you to have way too many cookies, but yet I don't want you to have too few either. The system will automatically round your cookies up to the nearest case because we have to order by the case. And so the nice thing is that you don't have to worry about, okay, this is how many boxes I have right now. What do I need to do to get to the next full case? And like I said, we love the gift of caring. And so as you can see here, like I said, we've got the CGOC over on the left and the TGOC on the right. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing, but hang in there with me, ladies. So if you participate in the council gift of caring, which is our cookies for cancer, then you would put all of the boxes of cookies, so say a girl sold 10 of them. You would put 10 next to Becky's name. And then you'd go in and you'd fill all the rest of the fields in. Now, if everybody in your troop, you've just decided, you know what, it's so much easier if I just do the council gift of caring right off the bat up front, then what will happen is the girls are getting credit for the cookie sale. The troop is getting the proceed for that cookie sale, but the council is going to take care of all of those cookies. So you don't have to worry about having all those extra cookies. Maybe it's 40 boxes. You don't have to worry about having those 40 boxes of cookies in your inventory because the council is going to take care of that for you. Now, say that you would like to do your own troop gift of caring, which is perfectly fine as well. You then would put those in under the troop gift of caring. Now here's what happens. So say you have an extra 33 boxes left over once all of your cookies, rounded up to the nearest case. But because you have such great girls out there selling, maybe you've sold 50 boxes of troop gift of caring. Well, when you go to submit your order, the system's not going to let you because it's going to say, oh, no, you are 17 boxes short because you only have 33 additional boxes and you need 50. And so then it's going to make you go in either under the other column, which is a really good use of the other column, or you can just put them in and add them in with your booth sale cookies and you'll be fine. So it's a little confusing, but it's fairly effective. If once you get to that point and you've got questions, don't worry, give us a call, shoot an email, whatever. We're not gonna let you be stranded at the last hour. Okay, so to recap the girl order tab, this is where you're going to be able to go in, you're going to add, say then you've got your booth sale cookies. So once all of the orders come in and you set up your booth sales, you're going to have to start, adding those extra boxes to the girl's name for their booth sales. Because of course, what a great way to grow their reward system is by adding the booth sale cookies. And we're going to show you how to do that here in just a few minutes. The troop order. This line is going to show you all the cookies that the troop has received. It's going to show you what your initial order is. It's going to show any troop-to-troop transactions. It's going to show any cookies you might have picked up from the service unit or a cookie cupboard or whatever. And then the difference is going to be down at the bottom. And so the ideal situation is while you're moving your cookies around, you can look and say, oh my, I've got 11 boxes of Thin Mints on my order page, and I've got another cookie booth coming up. I might need to get a hold of the cupboard or talk to my service unit manager and get some more Thin Mints. So what you should visually do is see that number on your order tab and then have exactly that same amount in your inventory that's sitting in your living room or your closet or wherever you have those cookies safely stored. So here is where, pardon me, got a little choked up. Here is where you can put in an update. The same way that you put the orders in, you would click on that girl's name, and once that initial order has been placed, what it's going to do then is you can see it's saying initial order, that's locked to that girl, can't add any more there. But when you click on her name, there's going to be another box that's going to be kind of a long, skinny, narrow box that's going to show up in the bottom left-hand corner. And you can put in there booth sale, you know, at Shoe Carnival, $322.14. Maybe they just came in and picked up extra cookies from you. Then you would go ahead and, you know, I usually just would put in like extra cookies and then the date. The big thing to remember is when you put in and assign booth sale cookies to girls, you can see where it says total due and then paid. When you're going across and you're putting in those boxes that should be assigned to her from that booth sale, so say that, you know, everybody sold 10 boxes a piece. Make sure that you put $40 paid in there. Otherwise, what's going to happen is when the parents come to pay, you're going to say, oh, well, you owe X amount of dollars, when in actuality they don't. Those were cookies that were assigned to them because they were part of a booth sale. So you need to make sure booth sale cookies, you go ahead and you put them in the paid column. Now, if a mom or a dad calls and says, oh my gosh, you know what? My daughter was delivering today and their one customer wants 6 additional boxes of Samoas. Can we please have those? Then you would just go ahead again, put in the extra cookies, put the date, 6 Samoas, and then you wouldn't put paid in there because, you know, they haven't given them the $24 for those cookies yet. So there's lots of great things that you can do, and you know, maybe you want to encourage your parents to be turning money in as it comes in. And so maybe your troop meets once a week and you're going to say, you know what, every week bring in your money. Take the money from the parent, write them a receipt, and then boom, go in, put that payment right in under the girl's name. You can see right there where it says add a payment. You can put that in, and then that will just keep decreasing the amount of money that the girl's going to owe at the very end of the sale. So there's lots of great ways that you can track your cookie business and your girls' cookie businesses. So you know what, go in, there's, I'll show you the eBudde demo site coming up here, and then you can go in and kind of play around with it if you've got any questions. Okay, really quick for the service unit managers, if we've got new ones on for tonight, this tab is, under that initial order tab, is going to show you all of the troops that have placed their cookie orders. If it's a blank line and you know that troop is active, you need to make sure that you get a hold of that leader and say, hey, I'm showing that you haven't put your order in. When are you going to get it done? Once you've verified that all of your troops have placed their order, you know, maybe you're not close to a cookie cupboard and you want to make sure that you guys have some extra cookies to use for both the troops, or maybe you've got a big event coming up, whatever. Then you would go in and exactly the same thing, and I'll show it on the next screen, where you would place your order. The big thing for service unit managers to remember is that when you're ordering extra cookies, everything to you is by the case, not by the box. We had 2 service units last year, and I felt so badly because, you know, they thought they were ordering by the box. And so, you know, they were ordering like 96 boxes of Thin Mints, and it went in as 96 cases. So make sure, if you're the service unit manager, that you know it orders by the case and not by the box. And then, of course, once everything is done, you just go ahead and submit your order. And so here is where the service unit, this is kind of your look. You're going to see, okay, this troop has already got their order in there. If there's an asterisk, that means they haven't placed an order yet. So you need to kind of get on their bandwagon and make sure that they're getting that order placed. Same thing, under the service unit, you would click on that SU tab, and that's exactly where you would go ahead and put in the extra cookies that you were going to order for your service unit. Again, make sure that you remember to put them in by the case and not by the box. Leaders, everything is by the box. Service units, everything is by the case. Okay, so now we have all of the cookies ordered, and we want to start making sure that we get the girl rewards taken care of. Because, of course, we know we have both initial girl rewards and then we have final girl rewards. So once you've submitted your order, you're going to be prompted that you need to put in your initial girl reward order. So the first thing it's going to ask you is it's going to ask you to update your shipping address. And the one thing it will not let you do is it will not let you put in a P.O. box. So make sure that when you're putting that information in, we know a lot of us are rural, and so everything goes to a P.O. box. But when they're shipping by FedEx or by UPS, they need to make sure that that you've got the right physical address. And then it's also, you're going to be able to go in, if you're a service unit manager, and review and see just exactly what everybody has put in. So at the service unit level, leaders, you don't need to worry about this because all of your girl rewards are going to be ordered through you, sent to your service unit manager, and your service unit manager is going to be responsible for getting them split up between you guys. So again, remember, we got to have a physical address, can't have a P.O. box. And we do have a few people that will all of a sudden, and I would probably be one of them, that, oh my gosh, where, because you start to panic and think, okay, the rewards haven't come. Did I do something wrong? That would totally be me. And so what it'll do is once you've sent it, you can still see just exactly where it is that it's being shipped. So I do like that because last year they didn't have that. This is new. Okay, so for my troops, here is the important part for you. Like I said, once you've submitted your cookie orders, you'll need to go in and order your initial incentives. You will click on that wonderful little incentives tab, and then when it'll come up, it'll say initial incentive and final incentive. So you want to make sure that you go to the initial one for the first one, and then all you need to do is press fill out. And then what it's going to do is it's going to open up, and you're going to have a view something like this. So see here, of course, the fill out, another screen that I can't do until there's an order in there. So here's how it has to be. But in between where it says view and girl there, it'll say fill out. You click on that, and then it's going to open this up, and this is exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to tell you, now remember, all of our rewards are cumulative, and so the system is automatically going to generate that for you. But when you go in and, like especially now for the initial reward, it's going to tell you if you've hit the per girl average, you've got to go in and select all of the sizes of the t-shirts you're going to need. We've got quite a few of our different levels that, you know, you can get a journal or the design sign plus the light switch, glow in the dark light switch thing. And so if you've got to either make a choice or select a size, you're going to have this nice little red prompt next to that girl's name. And then all you have to do is press on the girl's name, and then you're going to get a field like this. And so then it's going to tell you, that you've got to fill in whether it's the size, whether it's if they want the journal or the council coupon, or just exactly what it is. So it's just, it'll do everything for you, and it's going to prompt you and ask you questions. And one of our other tabs that we have, of course, we talked about the Cookie Club. I know a lot of you have already gone in and started working on it. If you need help, let us know. There's still a little bit of time. The Cookie Club is open for business the same length of time from the 1st until the 17th. So if you want to still jump on that, let me know, and we can make sure that we get you in there. The deposit tab. That's another one of our tabs that we keep the leaders and the service unit managers locked out of. It's not that we wouldn't trust you to be able to put in your deposit. The big thing is that we have depository accounts all over our council. We have at least 40 banks. And so our auditors require that we, just like you do at home, when this deposit is made, I have to go to my statement, and I have to be able to find that deposit. And so that's why we always encourage people, a lot of people scan and email their deposits to us, their deposit receipts, I guess I should say. A lot of times service unit managers will just, get them all bundled up for the whole service unit and send it, which is just fine. The big thing is that I want everybody to remember, when they go to make their deposit, make sure that your service unit number or name is on that deposit slip along with your troop number. Believe it or not, there are a lot of deposits that are very, very, very close in amount. And so if we've got a problem and you're saying, oh, but I sent that receipt in, I know it was done on this day. If I have to call the bank and try and research it, I cannot completely verify unless I know that, whoops, yep, there it is, troop 12345, that's ours. Yep, I can put it in right away. So make sure that you put that on not only the deposit ticket as you're putting the deposit into the bank, but also on any receipts that you send to us. I always tell everybody, no matter what it is, put your service unit name or number and your troop number on it. That way then I have no worries about who it is. I've got a great question. Question about Cookie Club. Is that a place girls can accept orders online for out-of-state friends? Okay. Yes and no, Misty. Here's the hiccup for the Cookie Club. And I know that we are, and I can see in the near future, in the next year or two, that we'll be able to, just like when we do the magazine orders, where people can go in, put their credit card in, and boom, it's all taken care of. For the Cookie Club, girls will be able to receive cookie promises, and then they just add those cookie promises to their sheets, and then they have to have them delivered and paid for just like you would a regular order. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, that's so much money to ship them. Yes, it is. We had a couple of the gals today were actually working here at the office on how many boxes of cookies actually fit in a specific regional priority rate box that's like $5 or whatever. A lot of times too, I encourage families that if they want to use the Cookie Club, especially, like my family's all in Minnesota, that maybe then they use the gift of caring, because then they could do the gift of caring and the boxes of cookies don't have to be shipped, but yet they're still supporting their niece or their granddaughter or whatever, and her troops. So great question, Misty. Very good question. Okay, back to the receipts. One of the other things I always encourage everybody, make sure the bank gets you 2 of everything. you know what, make sure you get one for me and one for you. That way, you know what, we may not need it at that point in time, but you can always put it in your year-end financial report. So, you know, if you've got any questions about what depository account number you are, or just exactly what bank you use, you know, get a hold of your community development manager, or go ahead and get a hold of me. Your service unit manager definitely has all that information. Therese here at the office, she has got already pre-printed deposit slips for you, whether you're Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, First Interstate. She also has depository stamps so that you don't have to endorse the back of every check. And another question that we hear all the time too is, who do they make their checks out to? And we always just ask that they make them out to GSMW. It just makes it a lot easier. One of the other things that we always encourage everybody, make sure that the cash goes into your troop account and the checks go into the depository account. That way, if we've got any problems with the check bouncing or whatever, it's bouncing on me and it's not bouncing on you. So always remember, put your cash in your troop account, put the checks in my account, and then I can worry about it. Okay, sales reports and other reports. There is under there's a sales report tab, and then there's also a reports tab. Under the sales report tab, that is where you are going to find out just exactly how many boxes of cookies you sold, if you have a tiered profit because you hit the per girl average of 224 or 225. It's also going to tell you what your troop proceeds are, and ultimately it's going to let you know what you owe. So say that you are one of the troop leaders that has a credit card swiper that you got from Therese. She goes in every week. She puts those deposits directly into your account, and then so when you look at your sales report, it's going to show, oh yeah, okay, there's that one, there's that one. If you've deposited money into the bank and you've sent us a receipt, all of that is going to be there. So at the very end of the program, you'll know just exactly what it is that you owe. And then under the report tab, it has just real unique, you know, it'll break it down by, you know, it'll do like a side-by-side multi-year for you. Okay, how are we looking in comparison to last year? How are we looking in comparison to 2 years ago? What was our per girl average? You know, it'll have every kind of wonderful little data that you might need to know. I know a lot of people are kind of data junkies. I always kind of like to track things like that myself. So under the reports tab, you can definitely find all of that. As promised earlier when we first started, we do have a demo site that you can go in and play. It's just ebdemo.littlebrownie.com. You log in, everything is just exactly the same as if you were going into the live eBudde site. You can kind of go in there, play around, see if you've got any questions. You know, if you've got problems, let's look at them now rather than, you know, at the beginning of next week when everybody's all excited. All right, contact information. First person, you know, always either try your service unit manager or your wonderful community development manager. They know just as much, you know, as I do. And so if they don't have an answer for you, they are definitely going to get a hold of me, and they're great. They want to support you, and so, you know, they're always, you know, asking me, and it's great because when they ask me those questions, for you, they're learning exactly at the same time you are. So I love that. I love questions. I can never have too many of them. I am Bernie Steffan, your product sales manager from Montana and Wyoming. And of course, I talked about our wonderful Therese Smith, who is our accounting assistant. She is definitely your go-to for any type of financial question. Like I said, she has deposit tickets for you. She's got deposit stamps. She has the credit card readers. If you're having a problem with a delinquent balance on a parent, maybe you ended up and you did deposit a check and it bounced. Whatever you need under the accounting spectrum, she is your go-to gal. And just look at it this way. She looks at spreadsheets all day long. She loves when our volunteers call and interact. So, shoot her an email at Therese@gsmw.org, or of course, you can always get a hold of us, like I said, at the 1-800-736-5243. So we've done this pretty well. We're in under an hour, which was definitely my goal. Who has some questions out there for me that I would just love to answer? Maybe we've already answered them either through the webinar, or maybe we've been just emailing back and forth so much, which is good. Oh, good. I've got a question. When do all the girls need to be registered by? The girls all need to be registered before their order can be placed. So if you've got a few stragglers out there, I would say let's get them into the system. We are kind of working fast and furious. I merged a bunch of girls last Friday, and now I'm going to kind of hold off, and I'll do another merge on Tuesday the 18th, because I know that a lot of you will, all of a sudden get in there and say, oh my gosh, and so I'll be doing another one on Tuesday the 18th. Great question. Another question out there, perhaps. Oh, good. Another one. I love questions. When do final incentives? Oh, great, Iris. Great question. What I usually say, okay, so the booth sales end April 13th, and then we ask that everybody get their deposits in, and I've got to look at my phone calendar because I don't have my wall calendar updated right now. I would say my goal right now would be to have all of the final incentives into the system by like the 21st or the 22nd of April. The big thing is the sooner that the leaders can get those in, the better off we are, because it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get them in. So the sooner we can get all of them entered, the better off we are as a council. Okay. So I have two questions. When do parents need to get their payments for initial pre-sales to us? Okay, now usually we say that we don't collect money up front while the girls are selling. Generally, we like to have the money collected when they deliver. If they already have some money from people up front, make sure you go ahead and you just get that deposited into one of the depository accounts as quickly as possible. Because the big thing that I always get every year, and it's usually and I can say this because I'm in that old over 50 crowd, they'll say, okay, I wrote that check to that little girl, and it's been 5 weeks and that check hasn't been cashed, and I'm worried that it got lost or something happened. And so if the girls have already collected money up front, just make sure that you get the money deposited into the account right away. And then another question, when we are compiling our deposits, did I hear correctly that checks should go to the council rather than to our account? Yes. If you have got a council depository account in your area, Martha, put those checks into our account. I would much rather have to be me paying that, because the bank's going to charge your Trupa fee, which I have yet to figure out. So if somebody writes you a check and it bounces, why should you be the one? I mean, you're already out the money. Why should they charge you another $18 or whatever? So what I would say is, yes, make sure you put the checks into our account. If you are in an area where we do not have a depository account and you have a check that bounces, the council is going to reimburse you for that, and we are also going to pay your fee back. So don't worry about that. Oh, good. I like that you like that. Thanks, Martha. Yeah, no, I want to take care of that for you. You've got enough. You guys work so hard as volunteers. That's the last thing you need to go and worry about. So perfect. Other questions? These are good ones. And if you think of some, while you're reading the newspaper or watching your favorite show or whatever, and all of a sudden you go, oh, wow, I wonder about that. I didn't ask about that. You know what? You can always send me an email, give me a call, whatever, and we'll make sure that we get an answer for you. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we're right at just almost an hour, and I want to make sure that all of you get back to your families and your Monday night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And like I said, if anything comes up, please don't hesitate to either get a hold of your community development manager or shoot me an email as well. So thanks so much, guys. Keep up the good work, and I hope your girls are out there having a good time. I know that our weather has definitely not been conducive for cookie sales this year. In Billings alone, we were supposed to have a slight chance of snow, and I think we had 6 inches. So anyway, keep up the good work, everybody, and thank you so much for taking your time out of your evening tonight to spend with us. So good night, and stay warm. Bye-bye.